Hi everybody, welcome to Simply Made Fancy. I'm Ruth Angelina, and in this video, I'm gonna show you my tour of our little homeschool classroom because in a matter of overnight, everybody has become homeschooling parents because of this whole COVID-19 pandemic. So I had to create a little space for my kids for learning at home. And I'm gonna show you some tips and ideas of what we put together for our little boys and try to keep some kind of sense of normalcy throughout this whole thing. So let's get to it. So we're gonna get started by starting a schedule. For kids, routine is very, very necessary. They have it in school. They should always also have it at home. So for my boys, I created a schedule that's simple for them to follow, and it has visual pictures because my boys are still early readers. So I wanted them to actually visualize the things that they were gonna do. A good idea also is to have either a big digital clock, or if they're learning their time, have a clock so that they can follow along. I'll be putting that later on in our room, but we don't have them right now. But let's review some of the things that I've put together for my boys as their daily schedule. So we start off at 7. Usually my boys are up before 7, but that's kind of when we start the ball rolling in our house. So 7 o'clock, rise and shine, gives them time to just get up, not have too much pressure to start anything right away. And then right after that, we have at 7:30, we have movement. A good YouTube video that you guys can watch is Cosmic Kids Yoga. My boys love it. It's a great way to just start the day and stretch and do all of that. You can also look at other tips on YouTube of movement and things like that for the kids, or just a little quick like dance party or workout will be perfectly fine for them to just get moving and get their bodies going for the day. Now after that, we do at 8 o'clock we start breakfast, and we do Bible and breakfast. So during breakfast time, we have a little small devotional with our families. That's when we read scripture or have a children's based devotional that we do that talks about attributes of God or things like that. You can also do conversations with your kids at the table, like the question of the day or something like that, just to kind of get things going and let them, start thinking about things, or maybe even talk about the topics of things that are going on in the world. So that's another idea. At 8:30, we get dressed. That's when my boys come to their room, they put on their clothes, and they also begin some of their chores, which is, making their bed, tidying up a little bit before we get started with school. And then at 9, that's when we start our learning process, and we do it in the classroom space that we created for them. We first do the first half of the day. We are going to focus on language arts, math, science, and social studies, and electronic learning. So we'll do that for the first half of the day, and then we'll break into lunchtime. So for lunch, I like to keep it simple for the kids, just like what they would eat during school lunch. Nothing that takes too long, sandwiches, things like that it'll be a quick bite and doesn't take a lot of time from me to have to prep. So let's keep it simple. That's my motto. After lunch is 12:30, and then that's PE. So at school, this is what their schedule mostly looks like. I mean, they do have lunch a little bit earlier, but they have lunch and then they have recess. So I've kept it the same kind of rhythm so that they can continue to have that routine just like in school. After PE, they'll have quiet time. And for quiet time, normally we have my 3-year-old who just takes a nap, and he takes a 2-hour nap. So he'll go down for his nap in his room with his music playing. The other 2 boys that are older in school age, they do not take naps. So they'll either grab a book or a journal to read, a journal to write on, or something like that, and they'll just have quiet time. And sometimes it's just quiet time. I need them to at least have like 15 minutes of just silence, maybe meditating, whatever it is, so that we can have a little bit of peace for just a little bit of time. And then they'll do that for like about an hour, and after that they'll start their second half of the learning, which is physical education, which we do it in PE. And for PE, one of the things that I want to mention is that our boys' school the PE teacher sent out some, instructional videos that they can follow on YouTube. But my husband has become the gym teacher for our family, and they'll work out, they'll do dances, they'll play a game. Things like that are great. Go Noodle on YouTube, you can also follow that. That's a good resource for everybody. They'll do some reading for quiet time, Spanish, and then arts and crafts. For the second half of the day, most of the things that we're doing is something that the kids can do like pretty much on their own, and I don't have to be there and have to give them instructions or anything like that, or my husband, because Spanish, we just pop in a video that they can watch or put something on YouTube. For arts and crafts, they pretty much have their choice of what they want to do, and they can create that by themselves. As well as reading time, it's really on their own. We use the Little Prim's Spanish video series, but there's tons of things out there you can find on YouTube as well. The library has a lot of great access. We've borrowed many times different things for that. You can also download, if your library has it, I'm not sure, our library system has a app that you can download on your phone. It's called Hoopla, and you download that app and you can borrow books for free, and it has videos, movies, read along books, and all that type of stuff. So we've been accessing that a lot during this time. Then, so after they finish some of their work, then it's snack time. For snack time, and I'll show you later on in the video, I've got this idea from a friend. It's 3 bins, because I have 3 boys, so a bin for each kid with their name on it, and you put their water and the snacks for the day on each bin, and that's it. Because my kids have been eating me out of house and home with all the snacking that they do, so just having that little set bins with snacks, and that's what they get for the day, and that's it. If they ate them before 9 a.m., that's it. That's all you get for today. Then after snack time, we have free time, and that's the time that they can do whatever they want. They can play whatever they want at home, because that also gives me time to cook and prep all the food and all the other things that I need to do when they're just off, entertaining themselves. So that's that. Then at 5 o'clock, it's cleanup time. Everybody just starts cleaning up everything, all the toys, all the books, everything, myself included. We'll start cleaning up and start prepping for dinner time, which is setting the table and getting all that stuff ready. And then we have dinner at 5:30, and we sit at our table and we'll eat what we have for the day. At 6 o'clock, it's family fun, and that's when, the boys usually want to play a board game or dance party or something like that, and we just do it with them. We spend time as a family and do something fun, and that's kind of what we end the night with. And then at 7 o'clock, that's when we start bath time, brushing of teeth, and getting ready for bed, and then bedtime. And we want to keep them to that schedule because mom and dad need a break, and we try to make sure that by 7:30, 8 o'clock, the latest, they're in bed sleeping. And we also do a story time, and that's usually my husband, that the kids will just hop into our bed and he'll read a quick story for them or a chapter of some book that they're working their way through. So that's our schedule. And again, keep it simple, something that the kids can follow. It doesn't have to be to the second and all that stuff. Just a little schedule to keep them going and set a routine at home. Another thing that you're gonna want to do with your kids is set like rules or procedures or principles. I kind of don't like to call them rules because that is constricting and makes you already not want to follow them. But we have certain things that we do want our kids to do and to be mindful of. So we've created them together. We have the Super Brother principles that one day, and this was before this whole thing happened, one day we just had all these issues with our kids with sibling rivalry, and they were just not getting along. So we sat together as a family and we asked them, how do you want to be treated? And they came up with certain things and they wrote down those rules. So we came up with those rules, and those are the principles that we use in our family. And you can come up with your own. I suggest that you have a family time and come up with some of your principles or things to follow for your families to do together. To add to that, you would want to have in place a chores chart and just a little quick thing of what the kids should be, focusing on that day, which is brushing their teeth, making their beds, cleaning up their toys, whatever it is that you want your kids to do throughout the day. And they're part of the family, so they have to contribute to the home as well. So on the door of the playroom, I have these strings along where we had our Valentine's cards last month clipped on there, but I decided to keep it up and put some affirmative posters with just little reminders for me and Maurice as parents. And I got all these from Big Life Journal, and that's Parenting Guide to Growing a Growth Mindset, 25 Instant Family Positive Boosters, 50 Positive Phrases to Build Resilience in Kids. And then this is for the boys, things I can control, things I cannot control. And this, I'm going to introduce it to them the next couple of days, which is little phrases that they can use when they're kind of feeling anxious or wanting to give up during the day. They can just kind of grab one of these and help them, along to get to the next thing. So one of the main things that you want to create is a classroom space or classroom area or place where your kids are going to do their work throughout the time that they're with you during this homeschooling. And that's what I try to do. You don't need a big space. You don't need to go out and buy a lot of stuff. To be honest, all the things that I have in this room are things that were in our house. I didn't go buy one single thing, and I just repurposed and used them as I could and what ideas I came up with. So this is our little learning space for the kids. And I have this cart here with all of their supplies that are readily available when they need them and what they need to use for the day. I got this cart at Michael's. It's on wheels. They have their sharpener. I have dry erase markers here and these bins that I had gotten in IKEA one time. So they have like construction paper, loose leaf paper, a couple of supplemental books, not the ones that the kids school gave them, but stuff that I have for them when I wanted them to do little things. They have their pencils, their art supplies, blank index cards. We always have these in our house because since the boys are learning to read, whenever they don't know a word or anything, they write it on the index card and that goes into their little pouch where they keep all their sight words that they're learning. So that's one of the things. I have laid up like a bunch of random stickers. People give you stickers all the time and there's all these stickers that we have, so I just put it there. My boys love stickers and sticking them and pretending they have prizes and stuff. Then we have like little supplies like scissors, glue, tape, some of the things they'll need. Down here we have like stamps, letter stamps. These are from Melissa and Doug. These stamps, my boys love doing little arts and craft projects and sending letters to people. So they have that. Blake is learning his counting. So he's doing counters. So we had gotten these counters. Actually, my mom gave me these and we put them in a bucket. And this is like, I think it was from the Peanuts or something like that. So we put them in here, and then this is Blake's counters. It says Logan because Logan used to use them before, but Blake is the one that's using them now. And then I love these trays. And these trays, I got it at the Lake Shore years ago. And I love them because these are where they do their art projects. It keeps everything neat when they're playing with Play-Doh, anything like that. So, my boys know, it's like, they have an art project, it's like, where's your tray? Where's your tray? Go get your tray. Because I want all the mess to be contained here. All right, so this is the boys' learning center. And, we had gotten this table at Home Depot. And it's a small table and it folds up and it's easy to carry. So I just put it in the playroom. We used it for projects when we were doing things outside in our house. So now it's our little learning table, desk station for the boys to do their work. And it's perfect because it's wide enough for them to both have a little space. And this is the dividing line to keep them separate. So that's the table. It's a really good table actually, so if you want to pick something up, and it was not that very expensive, it was really affordable for us to buy. So each of the boys have their own section at the table, just like in school. You know, kids sit at a table in a common area with everybody. So this is Blake, and then this is Logan. And how I've identified the spaces is with each of them have these and all their work that the teachers had sent for them to be doing, and with their name and their little school picture. And also I put these dry erase boards with each of the activities that they have to do each day, and then I'll put the date. And each of these things pertain to the books that the teachers have already given them to do. One of the things that I wanted to do also to make each space a little special was to add the class picture of my boys so that they can remember their friends and their classmates, because we don't know how long they're not going to be able to see each other. So I put that there. Each of them have their pictures of their classmates, and then we have walkie-talkies as well so that they can communicate with each other, communicate with me. So this is their little station. Another thing that I did is that I had bought these punch cards for work for some of the students at work, because we were trying something out. So I brought some home to test it out on my boys. And basically what it is, every time they do their work, they get a punch hole in the card, and once they reach 10, then they get like a little prize or something for their efforts. So each of the boys have one of those. And I have this rod from IKEA that we have purchased, and usually it has all the kids' artwork, but I cleared it out so that we can make space for the new stuff coming in for this week. They already had worked on the little things, so we clipped them on there. And it's really inexpensive and it's great. You can even just put a clothesline with clothespins if you don't have anything like this. It doesn't have to be fancy. And for some added decoration, I got these at the dollar store, so I just added it a little bit. And it looks cute. I also put the boys' expectations again in this little chart, and they can flip it around. Super brother, principles, and be an example. And I wanted to share a little tip that I have for each of my boys. Blake has his own little writing journal, and I'll show you the inside without anything. It's a space for him to do a picture and then to write, so he can just sit and write, especially during quiet time. This is a good thing to have. And then for Logan, he has also a journal, but I also picked up this Big Life journal for kids, and he loves it. It's about setting a positive mindset, and you can get tons of resources from them online. It's Big Life Journal, and Logan really is enjoying it. I'm not gonna show you what he's writing, but I'll just show you a couple of the pages. So it's basically, it gives a prompt and they have to write something, and he's been going through it and he loves it. And it's great because, you know, it helps with anxiety, it helps the kids focus, it gives them some time to write and to think and to sit with their thoughts. So this is perfect also for quiet time, and that's what Logan has been doing it, and he loves it. So I totally recommend it. And now to the most challenging space of the whole room, which is Dylan's area, who just turned 3, and has been the most difficult thing about this whole situation, because not in school, so he's not used to like a homeschool routine or anything like that. So it's been difficult to get him kind of focused and settled. But I created a little space for him as well, off to himself, where he can do whatever he wants. He has his puzzles here, and every day I'll put a different activity for him to do, like maybe Play-Doh or things like that, to keep him, you know, occupied. He has his, you know, crayons, markers in this little wooden train, and these are wax dry erase crayons, and he has his letters. He's been learning his letters, so you can kind of use this and you write on them, and then they can be wiped off. I love these. These are great. Also has these letters that you use those dot markers for, and we got this from themeasuredmom.com, and these are great. He can do them on his own and learn his letters, his alphabet. One of the things also, we've like set aside part of the house for him to go and play if he doesn't want to sit. But the best time to capture his attention is during the morning hours, which he thinks he's just playing school with his brothers. So we make it like into a game. Oh, let's sit, we're gonna be in school, let's play school. And then he'll sit, and at least for an hour or two, he'll be doing an activity and getting into it. After that, I don't, have him like sitting around, because he just wants to be active and run around. He's a toddler. He learns through movement and play. So that's what he goes off and does his own thing. But he still has his little space here. And right off to the side of where Dylan sits is the easel. This is from IKEA, and it's perfect to have it right next to him because he can just color and write with the dry erase markers. It's a chalkboard on the other side, and also he can color as well. And they have their little aprons and art supplies to do what they want to do. It's also great for my other boys because they also like to draw and paint, and sometimes they just need a break, and this is a great space to do that. Another space that we have in this classroom area is our TV, and it's really mainly for video games or to pop in a video. They don't play video games during the week, and we're keeping to that rule as well during the time that they're doing homeschool here at home. And they only do video games and watch TV shows or movies is really Friday afternoon until Sunday bedtime. So we're keeping it the same, that rule, so they know that they're not supposed to be watching TV or anything like that. But this is our little station where we have the TV. We also have an Alexa, which has been super helpful because sometimes my son will need something to be spelled for him or to check his spelling, and he'll just ask it instead of every time running to me to ask for that. Also, let me show you. Alexa, please play homework music.
Here's a playlist for homework music, classical for studying, on Amazon Music.
Isn't that great? It sets the mood for the room, and if they need to just kind of mellow and quiet down, it's perfect. And also to set the mood, we have our diffuser with essential oils, and it's diffusing oils that'll help the kids just be grounded and calm, and it smells nice and inviting in here. So this is our classroom space. It's not very big, but it's just perfect for them to do their homeschooling. And I had to put it together in a matter of 2 days, so I know everybody can find a little space in their home to create that. Now, if your kids are getting restless and they don't want to be in this space, be flexible. They can go and do their work on other places. We actually have the computer station set up in our living room in another area where the boys can go and put on their headphones and watch the videos that they need to watch, and that's in another space of the house. My son also, Logan, sometimes likes to do his homework on his bed, and he's on the top bunk, so he likes to do that. So sometimes I give him the flexibility of doing that, and it's fine. But also we need to remember that if they were in school in a classroom, they're actually sitting down on a desk and not all over your house. And I try to maintain everything as much as possible in contained spaces for each of them to work on, because I don't want my house to just be this crazy mess. So I like to keep certain places sacred, which is my living room, my bedroom, and my kitchen. And those things I do not want them to like go around and make a mess in. And it helps also for cleaning up and everything. But be flexible. I also have a little space where there's a little couch right outside the playroom that is a little bit of a quiet time place, and they have a basket that they'll put books on, and then they can read and take the time to just be by themselves if they just really want to get away from their brothers. And that's basically it. You can do this at home. I know you can. We are in this together, everybody. First time in history of the world, I think that everybody at the same time becomes homeschooling parents. So if you have any tips that you can share, please share them in the comments below. I would love to know more tips. I know I can sure use them, and I know other parents out there can use them as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video and some of the tips and ideas were helpful for you. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button and check out some of my other videos, and let's start a conversation in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.